Hey vlog, how are we doing today? Good morning. It is 8:28 a.m. It is Monday, February 23rd, and today I have two tests. First, I have a biochemistry quiz, and then after that, I have my immunology midterm. I feel pretty confident for both of them. So immunology is the one I'm worried about the most. For immunology, our grade is based on 2 midterms and then the final. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I went over all my slides again, and I did some quick summary of like the most important topics. On the rest of the week, last week, I was super focused on my flashcards I made for immunology. So I wanted to then, after finishing my flashcards, I wanted to see like big picture things. So then I printed out literally big pictures so I could take notes on it. So here we have T-cell development. This is some questions from the slides about signal transduction. We have T-cell activation, B-cell development, and finally B-cell activation. So then I printed out the diagram he gave us, and then I put like any small little notes on the side for every step that is important. But yeah, so I feel like I understand it pretty well. So hopefully that is enough. I think this one's my favorite one of the pictures because I think this one is where I wrote the most. Biochemistry, we are actually only focusing on one thing for the quiz as far as my TA and my professor told us, which is the electron transport chain, which is pretty straightforward, to be honest. This is not the whole diagram. Let me show you. So yesterday and the day before that, I just drew this a billion of times, referring to the electron transport chain, but it's actually called oxidative phosphorylation. Well, I don't think it matters, but this is what we're being tested on, and I feel like it's not that hard, like compared to like what we were studying before, because before this we studied glycolysis and the TCA cycle, and those I do not have that much of a grasp on those. Okay, those I can do this. I can do this. As someone who cries easily, is instead of using mascara, on the days that I'm not sure if I'm gonna cry or not, I use Vaseline on my eyelashes instead of mascara, and it holds like throughout the whole day. So I just go in with my eyelash curler first, then I put a very thin layer of Vaseline, curl it a second time, and look at the difference between one of my eyes and the other. This is the one I just curled and did the Vaseline on, and this is the one I obviously did. Hey vlog, it is 2:16 p.m. right now. I just got back home from both of my tests. I think they went well. My biochemistry test was actually super easy. That was the quickest quiz I've ever done in my life, I think. And after biochemistry, I reviewed a little bit with my friends for immunology, and then we took the test. I think the test was okay. A couple of the questions were definitely kind of tricky to answer, but I think overall I felt pretty prepared. I think there was only one question that I didn't feel super prepared for, but it was just one question, and the test had like, I don't know how many questions. It was like 5 pages. Overall, I think it went well, but we'll see when the grades come out. But as of now, I am just content that it's done with. On Monday, I had 2 tests, and I literally used all my energy to study for them. The following day comes around, Tuesday, and I am still not locked in. I try, and I can't. And then I just spend the rest of the day in the couch. I'm having some feeling of senioritis because I'm like, it's just 4 more weeks, I'm almost done, and I keep imagining myself living my life during my gap year, and I so want that, but I'm not there yet. Still have 4 weeks. I still have my finals, so I cannot be locked out. I need to stay locked in. Today's Wednesday. I had my biochemistry lecture this morning, and then I did a couple notes for immunology, which I still want to finish because I didn't finish. And then I had a meeting with a professor I asked for a letter of recommendation for. The meeting was supposed to be 30 minutes, it ended up being an hour and 10 minutes. Got back home, took a shower, nice, comfy, clean, and I smell good too. Okay. And now I'm trying to make a Zoom meeting. My pre-vet club, we're gonna have our board meeting in an hour, and we're gonna do it over Zoom. And as the president, I'm supposed to make the Zoom, but I always have to remember how it works to make a Zoom. Zoom meeting has been figured out, and it's gonna happen in 1 hour, so I have 1 hour that I can study right now. And I'm trying to keep myself accountable so I don't fall victim to the senioritis, and I can stay on top of everything to study for my finals, because now I'm basically gonna be preparing myself for the next weeks for the final. I think to study for immunology, I'm gonna go over the slides and take notes on them. And then after taking notes on the slides, I'm gonna try to make flashcards with only the most important things. I think for the last 2 midterms, I put way too many details on my flashcards, and there was really no need for that. For biochemistry, I think our final is gonna mostly include things from week 4 to week 10. And we have a quiz every week, so I've been pretty on top of the material for my biochemistry class, but I haven't memorized the glycolysis or the TCA cycle. I feel like I understand them pretty well, but I kind of want to see if I can try to memorize all of them, like go through the mechanism of like autolysis cleavage and also the GADPH. I think that's what it's called, the enzyme too. I don't need to know a lot of like organic chemistry mechanisms, but I think those two mechanisms we spent a lot of time on, so I feel like it's going to be on the final. And just like the general process of glycolysis and the TCA cycle, I want to see if I can memorize the most important structures and their names, not the whole thing necessarily, just the ones that we focus on the most. Today specifically, I don't have that much time to spend studying because I had a class, and then I have 2 meetings in total today. I had the meeting with the professor, and I'm gonna have the meeting with my pre-vet club as well. But I'm gonna see if I can finish doing notes for immunology. Those are the notes I did at the library. I did a page and a half of notes, so I'm gonna continue. I have 3 slides decks I need to go over, and then after that I just need to keep up whenever they come out. Guys, it is 9:43 p.m. and I've definitely kind of lost the plot. So this morning I had volunteering at the bunny shelter, which is pretty chill, pretty fine, and then I studied for 3 hours with my friend for biochemistry, and in those 3 hours I memorized glycolysis, both the first and second phase. I also memorized aldolase cleavage and GAP-DH mechanism, so pretty productive. I was starting to go over the TCA cycle when time ran out, and I had to go pick up my friend because we had already planned to hang out. Initially, our plan was just to go downtown to go to Victoria's Secret because she wanted a specific set, but they were having like a discount. They were having a sale, so then I also bought some stuff. And then we stayed in the mall and we went to a bunch of other stores. We went to like this plushie store to most of the stores. I just looked at it, like I didn't buy anything for most of the stores, but we went to like this plush store, we went to H&M, we went to Hollister, we went to a shoe store, and then we had dinner was 10 out of 10. I absolutely devoured our dinner. I got the chow mein tofu and it was so good, and their Thai iced tea was so good. It was so sweet. I've never had like such creamy sweet Thai tea before. Like I've had Thai tea before, but that one was like extra sweet and extra creamy, which I enjoyed a lot. It was like dessert in a cup, to be honest. And then we were going back to the car, and earlier that day I had said how I wanted to go to Brandy, but Brandy in that mall was closed because they were renovating the store. And then we were going back to the car, and then my friend was like, wait, doesn't Paxton have like a Brandy section? And I was like, oh yeah, that's true. So then we also went to Paxton, where I got 2 pieces. This month I've bought a lot of clothes because I'm trying to redo my closet. One, because I'm changing states pretty soon, and I'm trying to get clothes that are more suitable to the weather at the different state I'm gonna move to. And second, most of the clothes in my closet had been the same since freshman year, but my taste has changed a lot since freshman year. I definitely did not wear this much pink my freshman year of college, and I also bought a lot of things that were not good quality because I was basically a high school student with like my part-time pay in a minimum wage, and so I went for the cheap stuff, and the cheap stuff does not last that long. So I'm trying to redo my closet for a closet that I know I will wear for a long period of time. Hopefully the end of my senior year, my gap year, and then also all my 4 years of vet school, I'll have the same closet, hopefully. So right now I'm trying to change some of the clothes I have that I don't feel as connected to as I was my 3 years ago, to having pieces that are more high quality, that I'm gonna definitely wear very often, and that it can be kind of like my capsule wardrobe for the next few years and for the next phase of my life. All of that to say that I don't want to make a haul in this video, because I want to make a video with most of the clothes I got this month in a different video. However, I will show one of the pieces that I bought. Let me see how many things I bought in total. I bought 6 pieces in total. Most of them were from Victoria's Secret because they were having a sale. But one of the things I bought from Paxton, I wanted to go to Brandy specifically because I saw this set on Pinterest that I really wanted, and it's basically a like navy blue set, and it's just this pant right here. And unfortunately I didn't find the top that goes with the pants, so hopefully I can find it on Depop or something. But I'm showing you the pants because I want to wear them tomorrow. But yeah, if you want to see the haul for these 2 bags completely, and if you also want to see the haul for what other stores did I buy this month, I bought this month in Hollister, Depop, and Ross as well, then please go to my video where I do the haul. But yeah, and then I came back home after the long day shopping with my friend, and girls from my sorority were doing a karaoke at my house, and I participated in the karaoke. I sang all the songs that there were in karaoke today, all of them, and it was awesome. And then because it's at my house, when everyone left, me and my housemate kept singing more karaoke songs. It was great, and I think tomorrow I'm gonna wake up and I'm not gonna have any voice. I'm gonna get ready for bed and get my 8 hours of sleep, and I'll see you tomorrow. Hey guys, it is Friday and it is 12:32 p.m. Usually I have more classes on Fridays, but this week I only have 3. Today, in my biochemistry section, we mostly went over the mechanism for the first 2 steps of glucogenesis. right there. And then for actual biochemistry lection, we kind of went over what happens during starvation for the liver, muscle, and brain too. It was honestly a pretty intense lecture, and he was saying everything so fast. I was literally writing at the speed of light, and I feel like I definitely have missed a couple important sentences because I would be writing the thing he just said, and then he would present a different idea that was also important, but I was still writing the first sentence. Usually for his lectures, I feel like I write 2 pages. Today I wrote like 3 pages. My immunology class on Wednesday, I did notes for 2 decks of slides, and I think I have 2 more decks of slides to make notes for, so that's on the list for immunology. And I think I'm not going to do anything else for immunology this week. I do have a quiz on Monday. Every Monday I have a quiz for my biochemistry class, and glucogenesis is going to be the thing that will be on my quiz. So instead of focusing directly on the TCA cycle, I'm gonna try to memorize glucogenesis, which honestly, in comparison to glycolysis and in comparison to the TCA cycle, it's absolutely nothing. It's like super easy in comparison to both of those things, so I don't think that's gonna take a lot of time to memorize. And finally, for my writing class, on Monday, I'm going to have my interview with my professor, which is going to be 5% of my grade. So it's not worth that much of my grade, but I still want to do well on that interview, especially because I want to ask that professor for a letter of recommendation. So I'm going to see if I can enlist one of my housemates to do a practice interview. I'm going to give them a paper with a bunch of questions, and then I'm going to see if they can like question me on some of them and then give me some feedback on how I did. Hey again, whoops, a couple changes of plans. I completely forgot that my pre-vet club this week only, we're meeting on Friday, so today. So I have to go to that. But that shouldn't take too long. It should just be like, I think an hour or so. I'm about to start taking notes for biochemistry, but before I want to open a cutesy little drink so I can feel motivated. I love Olipop. My favorite ones is this one's, the Shirley Temple, and I also like their cherry cola one. But yeah, so yummy, and it looks so beautiful on my table. And my housemate's sister made these little coasters, and mine is pink, so it's gonna sit like this on my desk. It's gonna look so pretty. I almost went to bed without finishing this video off. Oopsies loopsies. Look at my giant Vaseline. I didn't finish everything I said I was gonna do, but also that was like a really long list for me to do it in just a couple hours. I did finish taking notes for biochemistry, and I also just finished memorizing and studying the new content, the content that's going to be on the quiz on Monday. I'm hoping I can finish everything else that I said over the weekend, so taking notes for immunology and practicing my interviews. I do work on the weekends. I work 8-hour shifts both on Saturday and Sunday, but usually I have some time before or after work that I can study, so I'm not too worried about that. But we need to do the most fun thing of the week, the best part of the week, my favorite part of the week. I think you saw my wall earlier in this video, and if you notice, I have a big paper in the middle that says final quarter and then weeks left, and then I have the number of the weeks until I'm finally graduated. And then on Friday of every week I cross out another one of the weeks. This is so excited. I'm 3 weeks away from finishing my bachelor's degree. That is insane, and I'm so ready for it. Wasn't that literally so fun, so satisfying? Literally the highlight of my week. I'm just kidding, obviously that was not the highlight of my week. I think the highlight of my week was going out with my friend and going shopping, and then going to get food as well, but also I don't get to hang out with her that often, so it was pretty fun. Anyways, thanks so much for watching, Bookster, and I hope to see you around here sometime soon. Okay, bye.